I know it is extremely late, but see, I have my reasons as to why this review is late. Now, let me explain something to all my subscribers, right? So, what I do on the side, except from YouTube, is acting. So I'm an actor, right, basically, and I'm doing stuff on stage. See, the thing is, the previous week and this week was really hectic because this week on Wednesday, I needed to perform on stage, right? And I had our principal who was shooting Pacific Rim 2, who took off some time to come all the way from Hollywood to come and watch the show that I was involved in. So you bet your ass that someone will pay money to go all the way from Hollywood, to come all the way from Hollywood to watch your show. You expect it to be good, you know what I'm saying? So I needed to take off the previous week and this week in order to prepare for my role, to make sure that I perform well, and it turns out my group performed well, so that is good news. And that is why I could not do the review, as well as other things you missed that I said I would talk about, which had a lot of information about Naruto Gaiden and all that kind of stuff. But since the information is already out so early, there was really no need to make one now, to be honest. Yeah, so let's start with the review. Let's start with the beginning, where we get an explanation as to why the new way could not be sensed, and we get Naruto using Sage mode, and for some reason his vision is different, because that is something we have never seen before, or at least seen Sage mode from Naruto's perspective. So yeah, that is really cool to have that in the episode. And I want to talk about Boruto's eyes, because if you really analyze this eye, it is better than the Mangekyo Sharingan, or at least Obito's Mangekyo Sharingan, because it does exactly what Obito's Mangekyo Sharingan does, except it takes less chakra to, or barely any chakra at all, to use an ability which is similar to Obito's Mangekyo Sharingan. Now, with Obito's Mangekyo Sharingan, it took him a lot of chakra just to open dimensions, right? And this is not his, this is other dimensions. Now, with Boruto, all we get is a little bit of lightning in his eye, and then a new dimension opens, right? And dimension to the new way. Now, whether Boruto can use this to, go in between different types of dimensions, we don't know, but we know that it is connected to the new way somehow. And we have Sumire, who is also connected to the new way. So what does that mean, really? Because Boruto is connected to it for no fucking reason, except for the fact that it only activates his eye, right? And apparently, according to this episode, his eye is going to remain dormant, until probably after the movie or something like that. If you really think about it, the eye is really overpowered, because not only is Boruto able to use Obito's abilities, or at least something similar, which is pretty much the same thing, he's also able to open portals in order to go inside it, or at least let people inside it. And that is something that Sasuke's Rinnegan was doing. So the fact that Boruto is doing something like this with this eye is really overpowered. So maybe, I think the only implication for this eye, right, could be that maybe the only time this eye activates is when something sinister or something evil is behind or around Boruto in some kind of way. Because if Boruto could activate this eye whenever he wanted to, right, that means that he potentially has a way to transport people without them noticing that they are being transported, or at least they would not know where they are, right? And that is exactly what Kakashi said at the start of the episode, that you can transfer the new way to different places without anyone noticing, and Boruto could probably do the same if he masters the eye. So I think that the eye only activates when Boruto is in danger, maybe, or maybe if something sinister is lurking around him. Also, the eye can see chakra points, which is something we've only seen the Byakugan do, at least. So it is probably a variation of the Byakugan, maybe something that has never been created before, and maybe it could be that the power was given to Boruto by chance. Now that I've compared the differences between Naruto and Boruto's abilities in terms of the ocular jutsus and stuff, let's talk about the taijutsu, right? It is painfully obvious that Boruto's taijutsu is better than Naruto's when Naruto was around that age. I mean, look at the way he uses his clones to create all these combos. Like, the utilization of the clones is on a different scale than what Naruto was using it to do when he was around Boruto's age. So definitely Boruto is starting off as a prodigy, and it has been mentioned a couple of times officially that Boruto is a prodigy. So for those people out there who still believe Boruto is not a prodigy, well, I announce it here, it is official, and you have to accept it as a fact. So the next point I want to talk about is the new way, and the new way was really underwhelming compared to what it was hyped up to be, because we saw the beast from the shadows, and it had a big tale which we thought would, you know, do something. So obviously my speculation on the new way is that, you know, when it's in its dimension, right, it has a mini form, and when it comes out of its dimension, it grows really big. Okay, now this is speculation. I don't really know if this is true, but what I can say is, you know, it is most likely something that you should consider, because, you know, we've not seen the new way as in its small form whenever it comes out the dimension that it is in. Okay, so the next one will be realistic choices and all that kind of stuff that we see in Boruto. Now we have people, a lot of people actually in the reviews talking about whether, you know, Boruto's choices in life are the same as Naruto. And the thing is that, you know, this is not something that only Boruto and Naruto do, to not, you know, abandon your friends or something like that. The whole, you know, the whole friendship idea, it's something that all shonen main characters do. I mean, look at Fairy Tail. It is all over the place. It is plagued all over Fairy Tail, and, you know, never giving up is just a motto that every single shonen character, or at least, you know, a lot of them just follow. It is just a, you know, role that the main character has to fit in, and Boruto is pretty much following it. So the fact that people are saying it is the same as Naruto, I really wouldn't say that, because a lot of other shonen characters out there, you know, have the same trait. You know what I'm saying? It's like the whole shy girl thing that has been applied to Hinata. Like, there are thousands of anime out there with the same characters just like Hinata, characters who have the same personality and, you know, can be predicted based on their shy girl personality. And really, it is just the same thing as Boruto, doing, you know, the right thing and being naive and stuff. And it goes back to, you know, the moon and the sun thing that we are saying. So we have Mitsuki, who is realistic. His choices are realistic. So realistic always goes dark, right? And that is why we have the moon, which is Mitsuki, because, you know, his choices are dark, and, you know, he's looking for the sun, someone to show him a brighter way. And we have Boruto's choices, which are naive in a way, you know, bright and naive. And then we have Mitsuki, whose choices are realistic and dark, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that is the whole moon and sun thing being brought up again. And, you know, Mitsuki even admitted, like, he would never come up with some of the choices that Boruto makes, you know what I'm saying? And we have a lot of, you know, people out there ranting that what Boruto said, or at least the choices that he made, were really naive and stupid. And I really agree, because it is not realistic. I mean, you have someone out there who is, you know, going for your head, as well as your family, and as well as all your friends and their families, and, you know, you've instantly forgive them, and apparently it's something that they hate. But then again, they are okay with Naruto. I mean, Naruto said that the person who killed his wife's relative is the coolest guy, as well as he forgave Orochimaru, who was, you know, responsible for getting rid of the third Hokage, as well as destroying the hidden Leaf village. And, you know, we have various criminals, you know, still walking around in Konoha, like Kabuto and stuff. And the whole forgiveness thing is just something you just need to get used to. So for the people, you know, ranting that this is not realistic, well, you are watching a series which has ideals and something to prove. So whether, you know, they want to prove it or not, they will do what they want, and whether it is realistic or not is really up to them. And even though an idea might not be realistic, they are going to make it real within that world, because guess what, you are watching something fictional. It is a fictional show, like none of that exists. And, you know, you shouldn't really, you know, depend on the show to teach you real life lessons, because it's all fictional, right? Freaking jutsus do not exist, or else, I mean, niggas will be robbing banks by now, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it is really something fictional. They want you to be in a fictional world where they can change the rules, and, you know, they can bend space and time and all that kind of stuff. So really, don't use this show to educate yourself as to what choices you should make in life. Like, you can use it as an example, but don't really follow it literally, and don't really take the character seriously. So yeah, the fact that people are saying this, I really find, you know, really odd. Like, you can learn from it, but don't really, you know, make that your Bible or your form of guide, you know, to show you what to do in the world, because the choices that Naruto really makes are really naive. And if you were to make those in real life, you are endangering your life, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm saying in real life, you would not want Naruto as your president, because he would freaking forgive all these people who are trying to kill you, you know what I'm saying, and let them live in between you. So yeah, that is, you know, proof right there that you really shouldn't take this really seriously. And whoever you are, who you know take this seriously, you're just, you know, wasting your time. Anyways, let's talk about the next thing, which is Sumire. Now, I really like Sumire's character, you know, not this whole shy girl thing, because to be honest with you, right, I don't really like the whole shy girl stereotype or character that they give certain people in certain anime now, because those type of characters I find to be very, very boring because they are less expressive of themselves, and you know, there's nothing wrong with that. But all I'm saying is, you know, to keep someone entertained, having someone shy there always to entertain someone is not really gonna work, because someone shy is someone who is, you know, contained within themselves, and they are not really gonna entertain you because they are contained within themselves. So it really speaks for themselves. Now with Sumire, right, the way she was behaving when, you know, she revealed herself to be the culprit was, you know, something I thought, yes, this is something that I want this character to have. This is what I want the character to be, you know, because that is more of an expressive person instead of, you know, the whole shy girl thing with her flustering and stuff. And unfortunately, I think this was just for the arc, because, you know, one typical trait that all these shy girls have is they would always fold their hands into a fist, and then, you know, they would point it at their chest or something like that. Like, it's something all these shy girls in anime do. And we have Sumire, who reverted to that after, you know, Boruto, Mitsuki and her came out of the dimension. So basically she just reverted back to her old, you know, shy girl behavior, which is going to be not really interesting. But yeah, I'll see for the future as to what they do with Sumire's character. But I don't really want another Hinata clone, because we've already done that, we've already been there. We want to see something new, and you don't give us a new show with, you know, old characters disguised as new kids. Like, people will really, you know, lock onto that, and we already have this Boruto Naruto issue going on, and I don't really want them to, you know, be duplicating kids out there. And we even have Shikadai, who is the same as Shikamaru, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I really want them to get a different approach to Sumire's attitude and character in general. So after they got out of the dimension, it turns out that, you know, the new way still exists somewhere, you know, within the dimension, meaning that not everything collapsed. And I think Sumire will be using it as her own, you know, personal Pokemon from now on. So yeah, Sumire caught herself a Pokemon. Now normally I would do like a Q&A after every review, but at the moment I have a lot of other things to review, you know, to catch up, you know what I'm saying? So in this episode, or in this review, I will not be, you know, answering any questions, but still leave your questions in the comment section down below. And with that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What I will say is, the lessons that I learned from this, right, is that people are taking the decisions that Boruto makes, you know, too seriously, and also they are taking the anime too seriously. It teaches you basic life lessons, but, you know, when if you are to apply them in real world, right, in real life, it is kind of stupid, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, don't take Boruto, you know, choices seriously, because they are meant to be naive. And that is pretty much my review. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and all that bullshit. I have nothing more to say. Bye.